Okay, so I'm here with Shom. She's the filmmaker behind Mixed Medium, which is her latest film, which is in competition in Milan. Welcome. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thank you again. So yeah, as always, Shom, if you could give us a synopsis of the film.
Yeah, the film actually, when I wrote the film, I wrote it for a play, for the stage. Then when I was going through the script, I said that why am I going to waste it on a stage? Why not bring it to a larger platform, make a film out of it? And of course then I developed the script more, and then it has become a film script. But it started as a play because I met an artist and I got very inspired by her work, and she actually uses mixed medium. So mixed medium is an art form where you have a watercolor, you have elements of other stuff when you do a painting. And then when I was shooting the film also, I shot in a very, according to me, a very mixed medium format. That is, I used all kind of format. I shot on the road with real people. So that is one. Then
and again, it looks really nice. I love the way you shoot the film as well.
Thank you.
It's got a nice look to it, you know.
Thank you. And then I made the characters mime.
Yeah.
So that is another format I used. Then I used different kinds of angles of camera. So I thought that, okay, I must call the film mixed medium because it's really experimental in a lot of forms. So that is how the film actually developed.
Now, I think in this film you reference some plays that you performed in Edinburgh, didn't you?
No. I performed a play in Edinburgh. From there, my whole film career started moving because,
right.
Yeah. So that was a big breakthrough in my career.
I suppose what I mean is the connection between the Edinburgh Festival.
Connection is that Edinburgh Fringe Festival inspired me to become a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Because the kind of challenges I faced over there as a playwright, I thought I can take up the challenge of being a director.
And we should point out, for those that don't know about the festival, is it's really hard to explain to people the speed that you need to be on stage, be off stage, the rehearsal time, because they are very, very sharp slots and you can't miss the slot, can you?
Absolutely.
So you've got to be on form, haven't you?
Yeah.
Which I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, that tuned you into making sure that you do things in a very quick way.
Absolutely. So the Fringe Festival is a very interesting festival. Actually, it does, in 30 days, it does 365 shows. So every play is given 10 minutes of slot. Yeah. Because it's experimental. 10 minutes of slot to set up a stage and walk out from the stage. So it was like an army. We are practicing like an army, you know, that we used to give 3 minutes, set the stage, 7 minutes, break up everything and move out. So the fact that Edinburgh and in the festival I took my play called We Draupadis and Sitas. Yeah. Okay, and I got 3 rave UK review. Yeah. That really, because of the discipline right now, what you said, discipline, that I can do things like this, I can really condition my mind like this, that made me a filmmaker.
And did it help your film?
It does. It does completely help me because of the fact that I completely understood that I can use my actors, I can use my space, I can use my camera, I can use anything possible if I can do in Edinburgh Fringe. That is absolutely. But mixed medium is that, I should say, it's one of those experimentals which I was doing, but this one is much more, I should say, all kinds of formats are used.
And how do you, because I look at your resume of films you've done previously, whether it's Hopscotch, whatever film I can think. TikTok, yeah. So you've got a whole raft of actors that you've used in the past and actresses, but for something like this, I mean, I suppose what I'm trying to get at is the casting process. Do you look at films you've done, your body of work before, or do you always think, no, I want someone new to play this? I know you've had some actors and actresses have been in a couple of your films, but quite often they're new actors and actresses that are coming into your film.
Yeah. When I was casting mixed media, in fact,
because this is a difficult one to cast. Sorry, this would be quite difficult to cast.
Yes,
right?
different cast. It's a bigger cast. 5 people. 5 people in the cast, and in fact, if you have noticed, the main the director of the film, whom I made a director of the film,
yes,
she had been the main cast in a lot of my films. Here I just did not put her as the main. I put her as one of the supporting actor, because I felt that I need to have different actor as my lead in this film, not her. Because she has repeated in my previous film does not mean I have to cast her as the lead. No. And she was very open to that, because the whole idea, all my actors are my theatre group, and all of them had that whole feeling that what I'm doing for the best for everybody. It's nothing to do with pushing somebody, being favorite to somebody. It's nothing of that sort. If I feel this person is...
You put them there for a reason, didn't you? Yeah.
If I feel this person is good for the cast, it's good for the cast. If you have seen in the film that there is staging of play in the film itself, there's two performances. I made one actor completely silent, another actor talk. So these are the things I just understand what my actors can do the best to the film, and how I'm going to promote my actors in the film to their best ability.
And I think we've touched on this before, but it'd be interesting to hear again if we have. Female directors in India, how difficult is that?
See, for me, Steve, is that firstly I'm an art house director. Secondly, I'm producing my own film. Which
must help massively.
So I actually don't feel any problem, because nobody's coming and teaching me or trying to bully me down.
Because they're your film.
Yeah, because it's my film. And the thing is that I haven't started doing commercial as yet. But if I do commercial in India, I think with my kind of biodata I've created, I will of course have problem, because being a female, always there is a problem all over the world.
Of course there is, yeah.
Of course. But I don't think I'll have too much of a problem. That is what I feel.
And again, looking at the films you've done previously, we should point out that you've literally filmed globally. I mean, you've been in New York, then Canada, Nice. You could shoot a lot of these films in your home country, couldn't you? But I'd be interested to know, I'm sure you'll say you wanted a particular look for this film, and I get that. But a lot of them you could produce in your own country. But I'm guessing, I'd like to hear the reason why you always decide, not always decide, but generally decide, no, particularly this one fits Nice, or this one fits New York. Can you sort of explain why it is that you choose? Because it's a lot more expensive, of course, you're adding to the production costs, aren't you?
Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to hear why you choose to do that.
See, the thing is that every script has its own adventure.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the previous other scripts, like what I shot in France or in New York, I just felt I need to shoot there. And that was a time I never thought about the cost. I said I just need to do it. And I had great collaboration with my team, and they also understood. And the best thing that happened about art house filmmaking is that everybody comes through this whole process of struggle, putting up a whole film together.
Yeah.
So they understand the other person's struggle also. That it's not easy for me to coordinate so much. Sitting in India, coordinating with France or for New York or for Canada, for example, it's not easy, it's very tough. So everybody is very, very adjusting to that fact. And in this film, I shot all over in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Mumbai. And I shot very interesting places in Mumbai where people usually go for like a party thing or theatre thing. So those are interesting shots I got. I got interesting shots of a horse carriage over here.
Yeah.
So those are the things I got. I mean, I knew I can get all that, and that's the reason I'd never thought of shooting this film anywhere else except Mumbai, because I wanted that energy, that diverse kind of energy coming into the whole film.
And of course, the look of certain parts of India that I've seen in lots and lots of different films, you can get a beautiful organic look to that. And using Nice as an example, and what I really liked about the way that film was shot was you used the harbour to a great extent. It was vibrant colour, but again, you could have got that, I'm sure, in Mumbai. It perhaps wouldn't have been the same, but the story would have translated, I think, anywhere. Because I think we should point out that in Nice, I don't want to say it was like guerrilla filming, but it kind of was, wasn't it? I think you had to just go.
No, I went go, but the thing is that I wanted real people also in the film.
Yes.
And if I wouldn't have shot the way I shot the Nice film, I wouldn't have got the real people in the film.
Yeah.
And it's very important for the characters to grow in that real people, for them to react around real people. That's very important for me.
And do you always work to the same ethic? For instance, do you always, I don't know, let's assume you got the cast together and the crew, but then do you have like a block week when you say day one we're doing this, day two, this? Is it always the same?
Yeah.
And what is that process? What's the diary?
Okay, so the thing is that I have a day one, day two, day three, all that in location. I know this is the location. I want to shoot day one, day two, day three, day four. I have it. I tell my actors, these are the locations we are shooting. And because we're shooting in real time, real people and all that, you need to improvise. If you find there any problem anywhere that you cannot communicate with your actor, that you have to develop that immediately, the communication. So my actors really were very helpful in that. They never complained about having in the situation like that. Like I remember this film when I was shooting, so a lot of people were passing by and we were standing with the camera. They said, should we stop? I said, no, come on, pass by, it's okay. We know what to shoot. So it was an interesting experience between the actor, camera and me, and having those people around us, in a way helping all of us to shoot the way I want to shoot.
And have you ever been tempted to, I know your background is originally theatre, well actually I should say you were a singer, but the film side of it, have you ever been tempted to, or have you ever filmed one of your theatre performances? So is that something you've done?
That is what I did it here in mixed media.
But I mean literally take a camera, and I know what you've done is translated to theatre,
Yeah,
but to actually take a theatre performance and just shoot the whole theatre.
I did that. I shot a whole theatre as a recording reference. But yeah, in fact, that is one of the inspiration to do this film, so that I can do part of my theatre in this film.
Yes.
So I use part of my theatre because I know I cannot have the whole theatre here because I have a different audience altogether. So I have the main gist of those theme of the theatres, two of my plays here enacted by two of my actors.
Yeah.
Because of that, I wanted that.
No, I'm only asking because I've seen a couple of these live performances where they project it at a cinema, so effectively you're seeing the live performance. But it'd be interesting, and I've only ever seen this happen once or twice ever, where someone's filmed a theatre performance, but it'd be interesting to see a filmmaker film the entirety of, because I think it would be,
very interesting.
I think it'd be very interesting.
It will be very interesting, but the thing is that in a theatre, you know, the way the actors accept the audience is very different from the film, how the actors accept the audience. There is a kind of a wall between the audience and the performers in film, where in theatre it's a direct. So I thought about it, but I know that my film audience will not be able to get the theatre essence.
It will be different.
Yes.
What about filming? What about doing it and not telling them?
Yeah.
And then telling them afterwards. Yeah. You know, you could say, I mean, it's not for me to say, but you could say, look, just for the purposes of being completely honest, that was filmed.
For the film.
Yeah. Because then you'd get a real performance, and they're like, oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm only only because I find it a very interesting way to do things, to film it. But you're right.
How did you find mixed medium?
Unusual, and I think the way that you've alluded to the performances in there, in terms of referencing theatre, comes across really well. And again, knowing your previous body of work, TikTok, I love going back to TikTok as an example. each one of your films is radically different, and I like that, you know. And it's hard to know what you're going to do next, to be honest. I mean, where do you go? I mean, I know you're very experimental, but what's next?
Next is I'm right now doing 2 projects at a time. So I'm finishing one. I should be finishing that in Jan, one project, and that I shot in Africa.
Right. Whereabouts?
It's in Kenya, in the resort, in the forest. I shot that. So I wanted to do something different.
Because I can imagine you being able to produce, I don't think you've done this, a really good documentary. I wondered if that's something you thought about doing.
Oh no, I can't do documentary.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't interest me.
I'm surprised, because I'd imagine as a storyteller, trying all these different facets, that's one thing you haven't really tried.
I've never tried.
I wondered if you tried it, you might actually really like it though. That's a danger though, isn't it? Never ever been tempted to do that?
Never ever been tempted. Because I feel in documentary, the whole idea of fiction storytelling is restricted. It's too real. And I actually don't like the real world. I want the unreal world, present an unreal world. Absolutely fiction about life. That's one of the reasons I don't like to watch films which talks about starvation, poverty.
Yeah, it can be
all
quite
that.
tough.
It's too real, you know. And I'd like to escape from that reality. For me, life is fantastic, and I like to see it like that, like a little child. That everything is fantastic.
It's very interesting, because I spoke to an Italian filmmaker yesterday who's a news anchor, and she's filmed a documentary, and she's the complete opposite of that. She wants to tell stories, real stories, and she's been to seen some horrendous things, you know, poverty and starvation and mass migration from Syria, for instance. And it got to the point where she said she only likes to go on holidays to places where she can kind of see people struggle, because she's so interested in that facet. So she's the complete antithesis of what you're talking about.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, and I like all my films, if you have noticed, from Sandcastle to last Flowers on the Lap of Rose, and now the mixed medium. Everything I have kept an open end. I never concluded, given any conclusion. This is the conclusion. No, I like people to travel in the world of fiction, travel in the world of, unnatural, like a beautiful world. I want to keep it completely open for them.
Particularly, actually, with TikTok, because that's my favourite of yours. But the end again is ambiguous. It's a very powerful film, as you know, we've talked about this. But in using that as a reference point, you never really knew what happened afterwards, did you? You've got no real understanding of it, and that was obviously deliberate.
Yeah, it's deliberate. That it's a dream. Okay, it's a dream. It's
Brilliant.
A dream. And same dream example I used in Flowers on the Lap of Rose. But that was not a dream, that was a poet idea of an illusion, of a woman, of an illusion.
Yeah.
So that also I kept it open. I never ended anything. Illusion is an illusion. So I like this. I like my audience to feel really, oh wow, what's it? What is it? I just want. What's
happening next? Oh shit, the film's come to an end, yeah. But that's great. Thanks, Sean, that was wonderful.
Thank you.
As
Thank
always.
You,
Lovely to talk.